What's going on, guys? It's your boy Scrub here, back again with another video. Hope you guys are having a great day. I know I am. And today I've got a story time for y'all that I think you're going to enjoy about this house party that I went to. I didn't really know I was going to a house party, but it ended up being one, and the guy who was a little tipsy ended up thinking he could fly. Yeah, that's right, ladies and gentlemen. It ends, okay. I mean, obviously it ends about as well as someone thinking they can fly can end. But, yeah, I figured it would be a pretty good story time, so that's what we're going to be doing today. But before we get into it, be sure to press the like button. Otherwise, no joke, no scam whatsoever. You will have a dream that you ate the best hamburger of your life. I'm talking the juiciest, meatiest burger with a fantastic shake, one of the best of all time, only to wake up in a cold sweat as you realize none of it was real. And that's torture, ladies and gentlemen, so press the like button. And, yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. Oh, also a little disclaimer, don't do anything that I'm talking about in this story, alright? YouTube, there, I said it. Don't do this. This is not advice. I'm getting quiet now. Lay low when you reach zone, piping down. Making out, stack the bread. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so I had a friend that I went to college with who had pretty loaded parents. That wasn't why I was his friend, it just happened to be one of the things that, was true about this guy. And one of the things that his parents would do is they would buy a house every year in a different place, and then, they would have him live in it. Because if you live in a house for a year, it's a main residence, da-da-da-da-da. I think there was a tax reason. He explained it to me one time. I understood it, but I also didn't. But regardless, once a year, his parents would buy, a really nice house in this town we went to college in, and he would live in it for a year, and then they would, get another one and repeat the process over and over again. And because of that, he was known for being a really cool guy who had a big house, and that meant that a lot of people would pressure him to throw parties. And as long as I had known this dude, he had never done it. His parents had made it very clear that if anything were to happen to the house, any damages were to occur, it was on him to pay for it to be fixed or fix it. And because of that, he was like, yeah, I'm not going to let a bunch of people into my house who think that I've got a bunch of money to fix stuff, because, I don't, Yeah, my parents are letting me live here, but, that's about it. They're not giving me anything to fix anything, or he was working a job at a Pizza Hut on campus because his parents, weren't paying for anything but the house because it was their investment, So, as long as I'd known him, he had never really thrown a party. But I will say the house he was in was crazy nice. It had a pool, it had this big balcony, this big backyard. It was gorgeous. And one day he invites me over. He said he was going to have a couple of people over that night, and he asked if I just wanted to come hang out. We would play Dungeons and Dragons there sometimes. I know that's really nerdy and embarrassing to admit. But, we would go there and hang out, and it was just a good vibe. So I was like, yeah, sure, whatever. Thinking that it was just going to be max 10 people there, probably less. And I show up, and it's just me and him, and we're talking for a bit, and he says there's going to be a bit more people than normal tonight. And I'm like, oh, cool, that's pretty cool. You decided to finally invite some more people over. That's awesome. And he goes, yeah, just a few. And, knowing what I know now, just a few was the biggest undersell of all time, dude. Just a few is I don't know, maybe 20 if the normal's 10. I didn't realize it was going to be just a few by multiples of 100. Multiples? Oh, Jesus, multiples? I don't know what I just said. I'm so sorry. I swear I have a stroke sometimes. Regardless, this man ended up inviting hundreds of people, because as I'm sitting there talking to him in this normally chill empty house, more and more people keep showing up, 20 people, 30 people, 40 people, to the point where this is a pretty big house. We have to start going into the backyard because the house was just too crowded, And he he gets some speakers. He had JBL speakers, and you can chain them together. And so he gets the backyard bumping. This was not planned. It wasn't like he had speakers out there. I don't think he realized how many people he had invited over. And so there's just kind of this impromptu party. And I'm looking at my friend, kind of seeing if he's freaking out. And he looks a little bit nervous, but he's just keeping going with it. He keeps letting more people into the house. And obviously, now that everybody's here, everybody kind of wants to party a little bit, and they want to get some liquid courage. And there's none out right now. And my friend, I don't know if it was the peer pressure of the moment, having all these people here, just makes a really stupid decision. His parents had a cellar downstairs, and so he goes and he raids that. He brings a bunch of stuff up. Everybody starts to get hydrated. And obviously, because it's his house, he's the man of the party, so people keep being come take a sip of this, come do this, come do that, come do this. And then as people are showing up, they're bringing stuff, so, do this with me, do that with me. And by 11 p.m., this dude is already pretty, Well, lit like a firework, ladies and gentlemen. Like, he's already getting really confident. He's kind of stumbling when he walks. Like, you're like, oh, okay, man. Like, hey, I'm glad you're having a great time, but, you know, you might want to be careful. Let's drink some water. And he's like, no, I'm fine. I'm feeling fantastic. I'm a god. Nothing can stop me. I'm gonna live forever. You know, just like the usual when somebody like there's a couple different types of people when they're hydrated. You know, the super overconfident one, like that's the usual spiel he's getting. And, you know, obviously he's feeling a little confident. And there was this girl at this party that he thinks really, really cute. So he walks up to her and he's trying to hit on her. And obviously he's just a little hydrated, so it's not smooth. He thinks it's smooth. And it's kind of embarrassing. So I go over there to like kind of, you know, be like, hey man, come with me. Like, let's get out of here. This is kind of awkward and embarrassing, bro. You gotta stop. And when I get over there, she's like, yeah, actually, I'll give you my number if you have superpowers. Like, I'm only into dating superheroes. Obviously trolling him, trying to get him to, like, bug off but not be mean, you know? Just kind of like, nah, like, okay. Like, no, I'm just not interested. And so I'm kind of like, all right, bro, let's go. Like, let's go. And he's like, dude, do you think I can fly? And I'm like, honestly, man, I do not think that's a good idea at all. I don't know why you would think that. That was her trying to tell you to go away. That was not her trying to tell you that you have, like, secret powers that you haven't known about your entire life. And to be fair, I was not with my friend the entire night. I don't know if it was just liquid. I don't know if there was anything else involved. But he starts to kind of seem, like, really confident on this idea of, like, nah, man, like, I think I can do it. Like, I think I can do it. I've been jumping off the balcony into the pool, and, like, I get some air, man. I think I might be able to fly. And I'm like, all right, man, but I don't think you should try to do that right now. I just feel like that's really not a good idea. And he's like, bro, but she said if I got powers, then she'll give me your number. So if I can fly, bro, then I got it. And I'm like, yeah, dude, but she doesn't want to give you her number. Like, I don't think you're understanding. It doesn't matter. You could fly right now. She would still, like, she doesn't want to give it to you, bro. And we're not with her anymore. Like, we're across. And he's like, I think I can fly. And I'm like, all right, I don't think you can fly, and I don't feel like you should try. Like, this is just a really bad idea. And he's like, I'm going to go to the bathroom. One of his other friends is like, I'm going to take him to the bathroom. We were tight, but, like, I wasn't going to take him to the bathroom in that state because you were probably going to have to help him aim, and I just wasn't going to do that. So at that point, I kind of go, I'm kind of doing my thing. I figure somebody else is going to take care of it. I did my job, right? So I'm over talking to some people that were there, and we're in the backyard, and all of a sudden, like, the balcony door opens, and you hear it because it was these big French doors, so it kind of goes like, poof. And there is music playing, but they slam open, almost like somebody that wasn't really trying to pay attention to how they were opening them had just swung them open. And sure enough, the host of the party, Mr. Rich Guy, kind of stumbles out onto the balcony, and, you know, not everybody looking, but I'm kind of like, oh no, this isn't gonna be good. And he's like, everybody, attention, attention. And he kind of like tries to start getting everybody's attention, and there's still music playing, so not everybody's paying attention. So he pulls out his phone because, like, he's connected to the speakers, and he stops the music, and he, like, makes everybody look up at him. So now the entire party, like, I don't know how many people, but there's a lot of people are just looking at this guy on the balcony. Just, he's not in a good state. And he's like, I think that I am going to do it tonight. Tonight's the night where I do it. And everyone's like, what? Like, what are you talking about? And he's like, I'm going to fly. I can do it. I've been practicing, and I know that it's in me. And he, like, points at the girl. He's like, you gave me the confidence tonight because you told me I have powers. And it's like, oh God, bro. I was, just the second-hand just embarrassment that I'm like, like, I'm feeling it right now. It just hurts. And everybody's like, get down, get down. Like, people are yelling at him to get down. And he's like, no, I'm doing this. And, like, at that point, somebody starts coming out onto the balcony to try to get him. And he's like, all right, now I'm gonna fly. Alright guys, I'm going to interrupt the video for just 1 second. On screen now, as you can see, is a PlayStation gift card. For those of you that don't know, I give away a gift card in every single video I post here on the channel as a way to say thank you to you guys for being subscribed with those notifications on. So if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe, turn on those notifications, and if you do already, then you're an absolute gangster, and I appreciate you, and I'll shut up. Thanks. And as people are kind of yelling at him and the guy on the balcony is coming to get him, he, like, gets up on the balcony really quick, like, surprisingly quick, I have to say. For how many drinks the guy had, he was moving like a spider monkey. It was pretty impressive. And he gets up, and he kind of like runs along the edge of the balcony towards the pool. Thank God, bro. I really thought he was going to try to just like throw it. You know, listen, when somebody's like, I can fly, I've been practicing, you never know how that's going to end, all right? So he's running towards the pool, and he launches himself off the balcony in like Superman's. He doesn't just jump, he like Superman's with some air. And I'm not going to lie, he's in the air for a pretty long time. I don't know if it's just the moment, all of us holding our breath to see if this idiot's going to like hurt himself really badly in front of everybody at his party, but he kind of soars through the sky and he starts to go into the pool, and it becomes immediately obvious that he's a little too low. Like, he's not going to land fully in the pool, right? And so he goes, and his like waist up is in the pool into like the part of his legs, but you just see his like shin smack the edge of the pool, and it just does not sound very good, kind of down towards his ankle, right? And everybody's like, oh, but he slips into the pool, somebody dives in, they get him out, and he's just like, oh, ow, ow, and like his ankle was definitely broken, okay? I'm not gonna describe it, I won't do that to you guys, but it was definitely broken, right? And everybody's like, why would you do that? Why would you do that? Why would you do that? He's like, I thought I could fly, right? So obviously, a couple people like get him, pick him up carefully, not trying to disturb him too much, and they go and put him in the truck because he was insistent that we did not call the ambulance there. He's like, no, my parents cannot know that I'm an idiot. We have to, like, someone has to drive me there. Even though he was messed up, he was still insistent. So whatever, somebody's like, fine. So they drive him. Everybody leaves, obviously. And so, like, I was one of the first 3 people there. And so us 3 are there, and we're like, okay, what do we do? Like, this guy, his ankle's broken. This house is a mess. What do we do? And so we felt bad that he had like gotten hurt at his party. So we decided to just clean it up. Like, we were just like, I guess we'll clean it. So we end up cleaning up this entire party. And it really, like, I mean, obviously it sucked. No one's ever like, cleaning up the party's the best part. Like, if you're like that, you're just kind of weird. But I mean, in the grand scheme of things, it wasn't that bad, dude. But some of the stuff that I found, like, when there's a lot of people somewhere, I feel like people are like, I don't really have to act like a human because, you know, there's so many people here, nobody will know it's me. But it was like, I found a dirty adult diaper, bro. Like, what? You're at a party, man. They just go use the bathroom. Who was like, yo, I'm rocking at this party, but I ain't using the bathroom. Like, that was their idea of a good time, whatever. So we clean up this house. There was one spot in the drywall where we had to fix it. I've fixed that quite a few times for my friends, so whatever, we did it, and we were like, okay, well, we cleaned the house, and as we're going to leave, it probably took us like 6 hours. We were leaving, the sun was up. There was only 3 of us. Like, if there was more people, it would have been a lot faster, but whatever. So we're leaving, the sun's up. He's coming back with the guy that had taken him to the hospital, and he pulls up, and he's like, I gotta clean the house, da-da-da-da. We're like, all right, well, we cleaned it. You're good. He's like, thank you. And he's in his cast, and we're like, what are you gonna tell your parents, dude? Like, what are you gonna say about, like, your ankle? Like, what are you gonna say happened? And he's like, oh, yeah, I already covered that. He said that he was out on a jog, and that a raccoon had jumped out of the bush and it scared him and he had ran away. And the area where we went to college has a lot of like snow runoff, so there had really deep curbs, and he had stepped off the curb and broke his ankle. And obviously, like, that in terms of that happening is probably rarer than someone just launching themselves off a balcony on accident and missing the pool. But, you know, his parents bought it. They didn't really ask any questions. So, yeah, somewhere out there is, like, some rich old people that are like, my son got attacked by a raccoon and it broke his ankle. Like, hey, whatever floats your boat. Anyways, guys, I think that's going to do it for the video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, I would really appreciate you taking a second to press the like button. Let me know in the comment section down below what you thought. And, of course, subscribe if you're new. Turn on those notifications. If you really want to help me out, you can use code SCRUBBY at the G Fuel checkout. Gets you a discount on the best energy drink for gamers and gives me a little bit of swag. Other than that, I have a podcast, the Scuffed Cast. Link can be found down below, along with the link to the intro song. And of course, if you take a look on your screen now, you'll see the coolest merch to ever exist on the planet, which you can find in the description as well. And yeah, on that note, guys, I think that's going to do it for the video. Hopefully you enjoyed. Don't get anyone pregnant. If you do, make sure they're hot. And I'll see you guys next time. I'm out. Peace.